So we've seen just how simple prokaryotic cells are, but what happens when a cell becomes more complex? That's where eukaryotic cells come in. Eukaryotic cells are more complex because they contain membrane-bound organelles, meaning they have specialized compartments inside of them. Now, to help you understand this, think of a house analogy. So if your house represents the cell, then we know that each room of the house has a specific function. For example, your bathroom is for washing, your bedroom is for sleeping, and your kitchen is for cooking. In the same way, a eukaryotic cell has different compartments called organelles, and each one has a specific role. So instead of everything happening in one place, different processes happen in different parts of the cell. So first we have the nucleus. This is usually located near the center of the cell and is the largest organelle. It's surrounded by a nuclear membrane which contains small pores that allow substances like mRNA to move in and out. Inside the nucleus we have a nucleolus, which is involved in producing components needed to make ribosomes. So next up we have the mitochondria, which is often referred to as the powerhouse of the cell. This is where aerobic respiration occurs, producing ATP, which is essentially the cell's energy currency. You can think of ATP like money. Cells need it to carry out important processes and reactions. Now let's look at chloroplasts, which are only found in plant cells. Chloroplasts allow plants to carry out photosynthesis, meaning they can produce their own food. Inside chloroplasts, there are these structures called grana, and they contain chlorophyll, which absorbs light energy. A really interesting point is that both mitochondria and chloroplasts contain their own DNA molecule. This links to the endosymbiotic theory, which suggests that these organelles were once free-living prokaryotic cells that were taken in by larger cells. Then we have the Golgi apparatus, which modifies and packages proteins. It can add or remove chemical groups and then send these proteins out in vesicles to where they are needed. Okay, so the endoplasmic reticulum comes in two forms, the rough and the smooth. The rough endoplasmic reticulum has ribosomes attached to it and it's involved in protein production, especially for export. The smooth endoplasmic reticulum doesn't have any ribosomes and it's mainly involved in lipid synthesis. Speaking of ribosomes, these can either be attached to the rough endoplasmic reticulum or free-floating in the cytosol. Attached ribosomes typically make proteins for export, whereas free-floating ribosomes make proteins for intracellular use, meaning use within the cell. So next up we have lysosomes, which contain enzymes that break down waste, toxins, and even pathogens. These play an important role in therefore maintaining the health of the cell. Finally, the cytoskeleton provides structure and support, helping the cell maintain its shape and allowing movement within the cell. Now, a really important skill is being able to compare plant and animal cells. Plant cells are usually larger and have a cell wall which provides that rigidity and support. They also contain chloroplasts and typically have a large central vacuole. Animal cells, on the other hand, don't have a cell wall or chloroplast, and they tend to have a more flexible and rounded shape. So overall, eukaryotic cells are highly organized and specialized, with each organelle playing a specific role, just like rooms inside a house. So now let's quickly test your understanding with this one practice question. Explain how the structure of eukaryotic cells allow them to carry out specialized functions. Pause the video and have a quick think before continuing. Alright, let's go through it. So a strong answer would mention that eukaryotic cells contain membrane-bound organelles, and each of these organelles has that specific function. So as we said before, the nucleus stores genetic information, the mitochondria produces energy, and the Golgi apparatus modifies and packages proteins. Because these functions are separated into those different compartments, the cell can carry out the processes more efficiently and simultaneously as well. Another thing to sort of think about is because all of the processes aren't occurring in one area, and we've got these different areas, these different organelles can cater to the optimum condition of the chemical reactions that takes place inside of them. So, for example, if it was just in one area, then we would only have one temperature. Now, because they're separated, we can have each organelle having like a different temperature that will suit the processes that are occurring inside of it. And so, because this level of organization therefore allows eukaryotic cells to become more specialized and perform complex functions. So the key idea here is that compartmentalization leads to specialization and efficiency.